Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Gerber Dualforce versus Leatherman Surge. And I want to explain which tool I am using going forward for my work EDC multi-tool. So I have been using the Gerber Dualforce pretty much exclusively for a whole week now as my work multi-tool. And I have to say that I've been impressed with how I've been able to use these tips here for most everything. I would a needle nose plier, but the caveat is I basically haven't needed to use the slip joint pliers for what I do, except today. I thought I would, but unfortunately the jaws just weren't. Well, the thing is, it was a piece of PVC pipe that was glued in, so that was actually the problem. So these would have worked, I think, but it was glued in. So I had one issue in the past week where I really could have used these pair of pliers, so they aren't really what I need for my everyday EDC. And I think that is the case with several people. Now, I do think for auto mechanics and different people, these pliers will work very well. Overall, all the tool set worked well with the exception of pretty much one. So the screwdriver I used again and again, it worked great. I never used the file and I never used the saw, but I did use the knife. So the knife and the screwdriver I used multiple times. They did a great job. This handle flex really didn't seem to harm the tool. It's not something I like, but it's not something that really I found to be that bothersome. Now, what we'll do a year or two later, I don't know. So the one tool that just continues to disappoint is the wire cutter. So unfortunately, Gerber I'm not sure what's going on, but they just are not doing a very good job with the wire cutters. I think the issue is Gerber has had such negative criticism with their exchangeable wire cutters breaking that they just decided to make this huge chunk of metal and just call that their wire cutters and make sure it didn't break. So it's not breaking, but it's not really cutting very well at all. So I was able to, when I test out this video, cut a wire tie when I have it under the light, but under working conditions, when you're trying to do it at an angle and you can't see exactly where you're at, it's just really hard on the job to do this upside down. It's just an inconvenient spot, and I'm not a fan, I have to say. I love the Gerber Dualforce. I love its innovation, but I'm just not a fan of that. So I did find, and you're probably not supposed to do this, but I did find that you could use these jaws as a crimper. You can get plenty of force to crimp like electrical connections. So I know that's probably not a good thing, but anyway, I found I could use that in a pinch, and I got plenty of force to use that. So after about a week of using this, I just find this is not the multi-tool that I need for my job. So I am going back to the Leatherman Surge. Now the Leatherman Surge, I feel like Leatherman has done such an amazing job that they are having a hard time replacing it themselves. So what I mean by that is when the Leatherman P4 came out, a lot of people said, well, what's the advantage? I already have my Leatherman Surge. So I think Leatherman to some extent is almost competing against itself now because they've made the Leatherman Surge so good. So Leatherman Surge excels in that it's got amazing wire cutters. I love how thin these wire cutters are. You're able to get very thin wire, and it does a really good job, and they're hard enough. I've actually cut some fairly thick metal ties with this, and I'm still on my first pair of wire cutters. I haven't had to change these out. So I've had the Surge for probably 2, 3, 4 months now, and it's just doing an amazing job, maybe even longer, but I really love the Surge. So I use the scissors more than I thought. I definitely use the knife, both the serrated knife. I use the regular knife more, but the serrated knife as well. I do use the screwdriver that's the most used inside tool. Most of the rest of the tools I don't even use. Now, sometimes I will use the large screwdriver inside, but basically anymore, I'm not using these inside tools for very much anything at all. And then one of the things I love about the Surge, I wasn't sure if it was something that was really as good as I thought it would be, is the blade exchanger. So this has come in very, very handy. So you can put the saw in here, you can put the file in here, and then I was able to come up with a scalpel exchanger that I put in here as well. So I can get reusable knife blades to put in here. And then the latest tool I've been able to add in here is actually the wire stripper. So I took these off of a commercial electric multi-tool and I ground down the sides, and then I made the end of it similar to that so it fits in the exchanger. And then unfortunately the pin came loose, so I had to hit the pin in the middle, ground this down even more, and then spread the pin out so that it catches. And the wire stripper works. It's not as good as I was hoping it would be, but it does still work. I haven't had it in the field yet. I've tested a little bit out in the garage, and so I'm going to be putting that through its paces and see if that's what I want or if I'll go with something else. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. So pretty excited that now I actually do have a wire stripper that's a designated multi-gauge wire stripper on the Leatherman Surge. That's something I run in a lot too, is electrical issues. And what I love about the Leatherman Surge is that it also has the crimper underneath. It's got a great set of cutters, a great crimper, places where I can mod this for the tools that I want. And to date, this is the best work multi-tool I have found anywhere. So I really love the Leatherman Surge, and that's why I'm going to be giving up the Dualforce for now. It's just really, it doesn't fit my needs. I think is an amazing tool, but it's not really for me, for work. So I'm definitely glad I got it. I'll probably use it around the house. If I change jobs, I might get a job where I actually do need it more, and it may become my main EDC carry. But for now, I'm going back to my Leatherman Surge, and I'm going to enjoy carrying this and testing out my wire strippers. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and we've got a lot more videos coming up in the future. Thanks for watching.